Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with the Pittsburgh Steelers recap and analysis, the final one of the 2023 season as the Pittsburgh Steelers fell to the Buffalo Bills 31-17 on Monday. Pittsburgh eliminated from the playoffs. Their postseason drought extends to 5 straight losses, no playoff wins since 2016. Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate it. To me, the bottom line in this one is turnovers. That was the key. It's always the key for Pittsburgh, a team that has to win close, a team that doesn't score a ton of points. Even with Mason Rudolph, there certainly had been more success. They'd have a couple of 30-point games, but they're not this high-powered, potent, win a shootout, consistently type of team. So could you force Josh Allen into some mistakes? You knew that Allen was going to make some plays. It's Josh Allen. He always does that. We talked about that throughout the week in my preview video. The question was, could you balance and help cancel that out with a couple of the negative plays he's certainly capable of and frequently makes? 2 turnovers was the number for Pittsburgh to get defensively on Allen. They got 0. They turned the ball over twice themselves. Early in this game, first quarter, the Pickens fumble leads to the Kincaid touchdown the following play, and then Mason Rudolph's, goal line, red zone, end zone interception, whatever you want to call it, to Deontay Johnson. Not a good decision by him, and those things you just can't come back from. And Pittsburgh, to their credit, almost did, but when you're talking postseason, when you're talking about this streak, this drought, the lack of success they've had, to their credit, really doesn't mean much, but that's what it comes down to. Pittsburgh losing the battle, turnover battle 2-0. Could have nearly been a third with Freiermuth fumbling, and somehow Pittsburgh, the officials ruled Pittsburgh would retain possession, so ball security was going to be an issue. Buffalo was aggressive; they attacked the football. Their DBs really get after it, and to see Pickens and Freiermuth have those fumbles were really disappointing overall. Pittsburgh's game plan again was to take care of the football, run the ball well, take the football away defensively. They did not do any of those things. The run game was decent, generally speaking, but for Pittsburgh standards, where the run game has been, where it needed to be, you felt Buffalo could be run on. They had been run on throughout the season. A middling run defense. They lost a bunch of inside linebackers. They lost a nickel corner, Teron Johnson. And yet Pittsburgh really couldn't get things going, especially early on. First down success was poor. Put them in some third and longs. They were poor on third down throughout this game. So those are the 3 prongs. Just simply put. And it's obvious for most games, but especially for this one, being underdogs, and for Pittsburgh, was to take care of the ball. They did not do that. Run the ball early, often, and effectively. They did not do that. And create defensive takeaways. They did not do that. So that's the bottom line there. Now, more specifically to the defense, I just thought the hustle, the rally was not good. The missed tackles were poor, allowing big plays. 52-yarder Josh Allen just running through people, running over Casey. The effort really poor. I know you're kind of wondering, is he going to slide? You don't want to get called for a penalty. But still, just generally speaking, not good enough in that regard, not creating the splash plays, the pressure, a couple of sacks. Golden had one. Highsmith had a nice rush for another one, but really not there overall. Peterson missing on a nickel blitz that led to an 8-yard gain for Josh Allen. Those are kind of big swings overall in the game. Run defense, not great. It wasn't terrible, but, Buffalo, I thought, won the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively in this one. And again, Allen really did not make those negative plays that could give you the chance to get back into the game. So that's the bottom line here. Some injuries: Joey Porter Jr., Allen Robinson in concussion protocol. Freiermuth and ankle seem to be relatively minor overall, but those can all be healed with lots of time in the offseason ahead. Kudos to Montravius Adams for the blocked field goal that set up Pittsburgh's first touchdown to Deontay Johnson. Thought Johnson had a nice game overall. Presley Harvin, another just bad performance. He cannot be the punter next year. I can't imagine he'll be the punter. I know Pittsburgh is stuck with Harvin this long. If they do it again, you really got to question that. Had Red Ring on the practice squad, didn't make the move. It is what it is, but Harvin cannot be the guy. Just not giving you what you need here as a punter and special teams unit for this offense that, again, is not going to be a world beater. So, just my frustration overall. Like any, playoff loss, it's difficult, it's frustrating unless you're hoisting the Lombardi trophy. But just to have these just terrible struggles early on, to come out so flat, and whether you want to say that's just execution issues or this team's not being prepared or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Presently, they've been outscored 66-0 over their last 5 playoff games. They've been outscored by 68 points total from a final score perspective over these last 5 playoff losses. At halftime, they're getting rolled by, I think, 75 points in terms of point differential difference. It's like 122 to 40 something, something absurd. And that's just, it happened again. You got in a 21-0 hole, tried to climb out of it. You did better than maybe some past years, but it's the same stuff. It's the Jaguars game. It's the Browns wildcard game where you put yourself in a big hole. You kind of lose your vision, lose your game plan. You're just trying to survive throughout the next, middle half of the game and then try to make something happen really late. And it's just really messy overall. They've not been able to control these playoff games. If they even had a lead in these postseason games, I guess the Chiefs game when TJ Watt had that fumble recovery touchdown, but really just not spending much time ahead and really keeping things close overall. So a lot to talk about here. Mike Tomlin storming out of his press conference when asked about his contract and, basically about his future. We'll see what that all means too. I guess that's where the offseason will begin about Tomlin's future. Does sound like Cam Hayward plans to return for 2024, but he said 2023 was obviously rough on his body, which just all the injuries he's been going through and all that kind of stuff. Just discussion on the quarterback, and there'll be a million things about all the quarterbacks that'll be potentially available, but we'll leave all those things for a very long off season ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to thank you guys so much for following the channel. Of course, we'll have all 22 review of this game, plenty of off-season talk. We're not going anywhere, but just from the long season run from training camp to this wild card loss. Appreciate the support, and again, got a lot more coming for you guys in the days and weeks ahead. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I bet you have a lot of them. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe and check out the site SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.